Good morning, everybody. Today is day 17 of Morning Pages. The big 1-7. The age of the rated R movie. That's what I remember 17 to be. I could finally watch rated R movies. Something my parents did not allow me to, but I still did sometimes with friends. Although I do remember one time watching the movie Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith at my friend's house, and me feeling like I shouldn't be watching it, and my friend making fun of me because, it's just, I felt my parents were watching. I also grew up Catholic, so maybe I thought God was watching. But thankfully, I'm no longer living with my parents, and I no longer follow organized religion, so I can watch all the rated R movies I want. I'm also not 17 anymore. I'm older than 17. Even though my brain may not seem to be. Today is the 6th of July, so let's date the top of this thing and get it going. And I don't know what I'm going to write about at all, but let's do it. Alrighty. That was a hand. That was a hand herder. Page 1, page 2. Page 3. All the great stuff that came out on July 6th of 2023. Those are really good. Felt really good. I was writing about some of the stuff. I kind of got away from myself for a bit. I started writing about some of the concepts I've been reading about in the book about the shadow, which I always show. Again, for those who are interested, I've been reading this book, and I've been working on incorporating some of the concepts that I was reading about yesterday, essentially discussions on evil and what it is, and how we have really little to no understanding of it in this country, or actually in the world. And I think about this information and I wonder why we are not, I don't know, it's just this information. I'm surprised these people writing it aren't writing the stuff in all caps with exclamation points, trying to get people to listen. But some really fascinating stuff in that book, and I was kind of working on writing about those concepts and mixing them in with my own experiences with energies through doing plant medicine. And then from there I was transitioning into more so examining my own life and how I have been working on integrating all the energies, and good, bad, whatever you want to call it, getting rid of definitions, not defining myself as anything. It's a whole thing. Yeah, but it was a really great morning pages, and again, it's just solidifying to me more and more how important this was. And I used to keep a journal. Every now and again, starting since I was probably in my early 20s, and I would keep a journal, and I would do it on my computer. And it was nice. I would go and just type, but I wasn't doing it as consciously as I'm doing these. I also had one of my best friend at the time. He would, not to blame this on him, it's just his own shit that I understand now. It's all projection, and it's all his own issues that he's dealing with. It's his own avoidance of his own evil, essentially, is what allowed then essentially what I'm saying is like I would write journals and he'd make fun of me. He didn't understand like why I was doing it, and I don't even understand that why I was doing it at the time, and I didn't. And when somebody's works in a way where they want explanations that are rational and that make sense, and you can't really explain it, it really collides with those kind of personalities. And I didn't have an answer for him. So then you'd hear like journaling's dumb. It's for weak people. It's for people who don't know who they are. But I mean, I had that in my head since I'm no longer friends with this person, which was about 2 years ago. But I was on and off of journaling, and I always thought that journaling then is for people who have mental problems and have things going on in their head that they can't control, and people who don't have to do it are perfectly fine. But now that I've been doing this, I've been consciously doing this as a way to access creativity, but it's also, for me, it seems to be a way to take ownership of yourself, a way to see yourself, and to get rid of all the clutter, so then you can connect to that channel at a higher level. And that, I think it's creativity, I think it's everything. So people who do this, I think, are noble people. And anyone who wants to tell you that journaling for 30 minutes a day is a waste of their time, I mean, I think those people are the ones who mostly need it more than anybody, because they are doing zero examination of the self. And according to this book, that's what really real evil is. I mean, one of the writers in the book spoke about true evil as people being, it's not the people in prisons, it's not what we think it to be. I mean, granted, there is evil in horrendous acts, but that's a different sort of thing. But true evil is subtle in nature, and it's mostly about a lack of wanting to see the parts of yourself that you want to deny. So just accept it all. You just accept everything is inside of you. All the energies are moving through you. Don't put too much emphasis on the good, the light, or the dark. They're one and the same. This is such like a longer discussion that I can't get into, but I'm going to start getting into discussions once I'm done with this morning pages thing. Once I'm done with these morning pages, I want to get into some of this sort of other stuff through having conversations like this. And I'm doing it for creativity. It's recognizing these concepts. I think that it's like, this is a cool way to teach writing, which I never really was exposed to. But it's like, it's one thing to tell someone to go write a story or whatever, but it's like, let's clean up our minds, let's get in touch with our souls, and then let's do the work while we're doing that work. So writing, I think, is more of a two process system. It's like in one part you're doing the work of writing, and another part you're doing the work of getting more and more in touch with that creative soul. And some people just have that. I didn't. I was just a very confused person for a while, for quite some time. Mostly not my whole life, but most of my adult life, I was very confused with stuff. And finally things are coming to some clarity, which is nice. So thumbs up for that. So that's all. I don't know if any of that makes sense. A lot of rambling, a lot of shifting topics, but that's where I'm at. I feel pretty good today. I feel great. I didn't sleep today that well. I had a lot of energy moving through, but I'm good. Gonna go to the gym, go lift some weights, then come back and do all the stuff. All right, I'll see y'all later.